So hello, welcome to the video and welcome to cabin 9140 on the Celebrity Silhouette. I'm currently nearing the end of a 7-night sailing to the Norwegian Fjords, and so as is usual, having spent quite some time in my cabin, I am ready to give you a cabin tour. Now, I've sailed on the Celebrity Silhouette before. I made a few videos about it which you can find on the channel, and I did make a cabin review video of that earlier cruise, although this time I am in an inside cabin. No natural light, which is why I have decided to wear the most day glow shirt that I own to give you some chance of picking me out amidst the murk of the lighting in the cabin. I will make a video that contains a review of this full cruise, but in this video I will give you a tour of my cabin, plus I will give you some of my thoughts about the pros and cons of sailing in an inside cabin. So if that sounds good, stick around. Hi, I'm Matt and I love cruising. I love the ships, the places you visit, the entertainment, and every now and again I'll also enjoy a drink. So subscribe to the channel so you can come with me on my next cruise. So let's start with the location of my cabin and how you get there. I like a high deck, but as I was pairing inside and balcony cabins on this trip, the highest deck I could get was deck 9. Mum was in cabin number 9184. Down the corridor a ways, but this was the closest inside cabin you could get to either of the elevator banks. Left into a side alley, and here we are. So in we go, and the first thing you will notice is the absence of any sort of window. In fact, there's this artwork of 3 ladies looking at the ocean, which after a day or two I decided was actually just taunting me that they're able to look at the sea, but I'm not. Not sure if that was a conscious choice on behalf of Celebrity, but it's a bit of an odd choice if you ask me. In preparing this video, I re-watched my review of the balcony cabin on my last Silhouette cruise, and I spotted the same artwork in that cabin too. So it looks like Celebrity isn't discriminating when it allocates its art. Anyway, retreating back, you can see the room's reasonably substantial. There's a fair amount of space all around the bed, which is nice, although I've not really had any cause to go the far side of the bed, except for putting my suitcase there. Anyway, to the left you have a series of drawers. Not a great deal of storage in this room, to be honest with you, just these 3 drawers here, which includes actually an umbrella and a beach bag, which I suppose is handy if it rains or you're going to the beach. Biggish TV, pretty good, usual sort of fairly thin choice of channels, a lot of which didn't work when we were in port for some reason on this cruise, but you're not spending a great deal of time in the room anyway, so that's not a big deal. Going down, we've got a safe, and then underneath that we've got a mini bar. Again, for those who can't stagger the 30 odd feet that you need to go to get to one of the 13 or 14 bars that the Celebrity Silhouette offers, here is a mini bar. Don't remember having that last time, so maybe the regulations have relaxed sufficiently to allow that. Usual stuff that you have on a cruise, and because it's a UK originating cruise, tea and coffee making facilities are available along with some overpriced water. Again, you can get it for free if you can stagger the 30 feet to the nearest bar. I'll briefly linger on the only power options in the bedroom part of the cabin, 2 American and 1 European socket. I want to give a shout out to Emma Cruises here, who has compiled a guide on what plugs are available on pretty much every cruise ship. No idea how she did it, but she was bang on with the Silhouette. I'll link that guide in the description below. I'll also pop an affiliate link to my fantastic power adapter below. Little seating area over here, being enjoyed by my little furry friend. And then the bed. As usual, 2 singles pushed together although I have to say on this occasion you could feel the join, and it was a little annoying as well. In fact, I think you can even see the join quite strongly. There's two pillow top mattresses that really have a bit of a chasm between them, which I still slept well, but it was a little bit irritating. Not as irritating though as not having any charging points beside the bed. An older style cruise ship that doesn't have that facility, which is a basic human need these days, if you ask me. Two, I suppose I call them crocodile storage units because they rather viciously snap shut. Didn't use those, but I did use the wardrobe, which is again not enormous, and it doesn't have any shelving or cabinetry inside it, simply hanging space with a overflow hanging facility here if that isn't enough for you. Otherwise you just have to sort of throw your stuff on the floor, which is a little bit inconvenient, but there you go. As an occupant of an inside cabin, I am allowed to use the swimming pool, so that art is less offensive to me. And then around here to the bathroom, which is a pretty standard bathroom, and here being in an inside cabin makes absolutely zero difference because you wouldn't get a view from your bathroom anyway. All the usual stuff, decent amount of storage in here, some interesting cabinetry and so on. Single sink, toilet, shower, some potions if you need them, and the obligatory rest if you need to get your leg up when showering. Finally, small thing, but I don't remember noticing it in other cabins before, a couple of coat hooks here. So overall, a reasonably decent space in terms of actual volume. I don't believe this is the absolute smallest single cabin, sorry, the smallest inside cabin that is offered on this ship. I think I got a slightly larger one because I wanted to be on the same floor as my mother, who is across the hallway in a balcony suite. It's been perfectly functional, perfectly good for what I need. All it lacks is a view, although these ladies seem to have still found one. So let's talk about the pros and cons of having an inside cabin. Start with the pros, and the list is really pretty short, unless you have some sort of weird phobia about windows or balconies, in which case you probably wouldn't pick a cruise as your holiday anyway. The only real pro of an inside cabin is the cost. I'm travelling on this cruise with my mother, and she has a balcony cabin, so I do have access to some outside space if I need it. But there was a significant price differential between our two cruises. We get the same food, we get the same drink, we get the same entertainment, we get the same pools, we get the same ports. It's just mine cost considerably less. I'll pop the price difference up on the screen now. So this is a Norwegian cruise, so on approach to some of the ports there's been as much as 4 hours of sailing time through beautiful fjords before reaching the ports. And obviously with an inside cabin I've not been able to sit and watch that. But for most of the cruise it's averaged about 5 or 6 degrees Celsius outside, so I'm not sure that even the hardiest of cruisers are going to be spending that much time on their balconies on this particular cruise. Plus, we've tended to arrive into the port quite early in the morning, so if you add 4 hours before our arrival, the views are starting very, very early, probably way earlier than your average cruise passenger is awake on this sort of holiday. We've departed ports in the late afternoon, so that 4 hours of scenic view is repeated on the way back out, which I have been able to enjoy sitting in a bar with a beverage in hand, so I haven't really missed out. And there are a few other positives to this particular cabin. It's down a little side alley, as you saw as I was walking to the room, so there's very little footfall outside, so it has been very quiet. And it is also very, very dark, so I have slept very well in this inside cabin. So if this is your first cruise, or perhaps it's a special occasion, or you've always dreamed of seeing the Norwegian fjords, then maybe an inside cabin isn't going to be the right choice for you. A balcony cabin or one with a window will significantly upgrade the experience. But But if you are a more frequent traveller and you are prepared to compromise a little bit on your cruise experience in the interests of achieving the best possible value, then I think an inside cabin is a real option. If the price difference between an interior cabin and one with a window is negligible, then 9 times out of 10 I would pick the window cabin, because you do then get some natural light and you do get to understand the context of where you are on your cruise. But if the price differential is more significant and you're effectively saving the cost of a long weekend somewhere by taking an inside cabin, then I think it's well worth a look. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're new, give this video a like and leave me a comment. Have you ever sailed in an inside cabin? Would you consider it? And if you'd like to support me and the channel more directly, check out my Patreon page, which is linked in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.